Hi, I'm George Russell, and most of you probably know that, but I'd like you to see some things you can do to help your big toe. It's one of the most important joints in the body, and you have to be able to bend your big toe back about this far in order to have proper mechanics when you're walking. And if you don't, that affects everything all the way up through the rest of your body. But in particular, affects your hip and your knee, and of course your ankle and foot. So for those of you that have less than this much mobility, there's a couple things you can do very easily on your own at home. So I figured I would show you that. The first thing to know is that if you can't go farther than this, don't push this way. There's some reason why you can't go farther than that. We got to figure out what that is and try to work with it. And so the first thing you can do is just mobilize the joint in a small range of motion, and I'll show you how. So this is the joint you have to move at, right here. The ball of the foot, ball of the big toe, you could say. I want to get my hands as close to that joint as I can. One finger on one side, one finger on the other. Now I'm going to pull, I'm going to go this way, this way, this way, and this way. So I'll show you that. This toe is moving up and down while I stabilize the foot with my hand. Then I'm going to go towards and away from you at this joint. Then I'm going to just make circles in both directions, and then I'll twist. If for some reason your hands and your feet work better this way, you could try moving the foot because it's the same motion. So now I'm moving the foot up and down and holding the toe, moving the foot back and forth towards you and holding the toe, circling the foot using my hand. It's passive motion. And then twisting the foot. After you've done that, now you could go and try this again. Maybe it will be more. I'm freakishly flexible, so I'm not a good example, but maybe you'd have a little bit more. If you don't, then I would find a way that's easy for you to grip the toe and traction a little bit. I'm not talking about yanking on it, although if you like that, there's no problem with it. I'm talking about pulling out a little bit away so the toe moves away from the foot, and then trying to draw it, continuing to traction it into more movement, because then you create space into which to move. Now often this motion is restricted as well. It's not as important a motion for foot and body health, but one would like to have the range of motion if possible. So you could also traction and take it in this direction. And in any direction you take the joint in, it's going to help you take it in all directions because you're increasing the range of motion at the same joint in the same surfaces. So that's a great thing to do. Now, foot mechanics involving the big toe, a quick way to exercise several of the most important things is to put your weight on your outer heel and then try to put the base of the big toe down on the ground while keeping your weight on the outer heel. It's not easy, but try it. And you do without hope and without despair. If you can only get this far and then you have to roll your whole foot over, that's fine. Just keep trying it. The whole sequence, though, is to do that, keeping your weight on the outer heel, try to get the base of the big toe down, however you do. Once you've got it down, come forward and press this into the floor. Actually actively press and try to get the big toe to be even more on the ground. Then bring your foot down and try to lift your toe up. Now if you can't do this, all you have to do is think about doing it. However much you do or don't do, just think about doing it. And then you come back without hope and without despair to the outer heel. Aim the ball of the big toe down towards the floor. Land it however you land it. Make sure it's firmly placed down so this is pushing down, and then you add to it pushing this down. And then you lift your toe, however you do it. If you have to lift all your toes, you do that. If you can't, you lift just your big toe, if you can possibly do it. Okay, so give those things a try, and let me know if they work or if you have any questions.